finally understand why Meghan never dared return to the UK. She was afraid of Catherine. Hello and welcome back to Princess Diana News Channel. It's great to see everyone again. It's been a very busy week, but I've now got some news from last week's Daily Mail. Headlines claim Meghan Markle will never return to the UK because the Dutch woman doesn't want to press charges yet, a royal biographer says. Of course, I have said this many times. Meghan has always been very jealous of Catherine, and at the same time, William and Catherine have never felt jealous of Meghan and Harry. Going back to the video I posted 3 months ago, I showed exactly what I said above, and it was also a great experience reading all your comments. Anyway, let's talk for a few minutes about some of my favorite comments from this video that we have to address from Dragasapina. 5692, this is what this person actually says. William and Catherine are jealous of Meghan and Harry. I can't read the whole comment because it's extremely long, I'll just read some small parts of it. So you say Meghan Markle had this degree in international relations and was interested in community and humanitarian issues from a young age. I don't believe that. Unlike Kate, she supported herself and worked before marrying into the royal family. It kind of worked, given that being a yachtswoman is a real job, but still, comparisons were inevitable and jealousy was palpable as Kate tried to emulate Meghan Markle and dress up. I have never seen this. The difference between the two women was, of course, important, not a superficial feature, and it was all for naught. William and Kate, perhaps the most charismatic couple in public life, faced Harry, a loyal and successful lover and admirer. Meghan Markle, it's time for me to stop. I think the man is on the same page with us when it comes to how we feel about Meghan, Harry, and the rest of the family. I don't agree with them. I simply don't believe William and Catherine were the ones who got jealous and then talked about it. Catherine tries to compete with Camilla, always wearing bright paint to attract attention and again draw attention away from Camilla. Don't think this is fair. I really don't believe this is going to happen. I think Catherine is a wonderful supporter of Charles and Camilla, and I don't believe she would try to distract them. Anyway, most people in the community seem to agree with us, and as others have said, William and Catherine are in no way jealous of Meghan and Harry. Yeah, I don't see that. The next thing I really like is, thank you for properly calling out the horrible things these two chose to do instead of just accepting them as mistakes. Yes, thanks Pippi5278. I'm so tired of the media and the authors literally referring to Meghan the same way they refer to celebrities and politicians. Seeing bad behavior as a mistake instead of acknowledging it for what it is and as a choice. Yes, everything is fine. We shouldn't pretend they are babies. I know they act like babies, but that's not the case. They are adults, so they should be responsible for the choices they make just like everyone else. Now back to today's update. For example, Andrew Morton collaborated with Diana, Princess of Wales, on the 1992 book Diana. His true story. He ruled out Meghan and Harry returning from the US. He appeared on Sky News on Sunday morning alongside Trevor Phillips and was asked if he thought Meghan and Harry would ever return to the UK. Her response was, "What?" and Meghan Markle bowed to Kate Middleton. I don't believe that. As a runner, I don't see that quite right, so Mr. Morton continues that you are right for the role. No, Meghan Markle understands that this is the person who wants to be the President of the United States. As Commander-in-Chief, how will he deal with military protocol if he mocks protocol to the Commander-in-Chief, Her Majesty, the late Queen? I think that's a very good point, and then he goes on to say that Meghan wants everyone to worship her, but she hasn't done anything to deserve that kind of tribute. She wanted to be a star and have everyone respect or bow to her. However, there was no way she was going to do this to the other senior members of the royal family. He knew the math, but he wanted to do things his way. Yes, we keep coming back to this topic. This is the fundamental problem for Meghan because, he said, she seems to want all the trappings of a royal title, celebrity status, and the respect of money, but doesn't want to give anything in return at all. But it is not the truth. Mr. Morton hit the nail on the head. He went on to say, I personally don't think she will come back to the UK unless there's some kind of trade deal. She did not attend her father-in-law's coronation. Yes, if she comes back, I think it will be an opportunity. I totally agree with him now. The royal family is an institution and must prioritize through titles. Now, if one wishes to adopt and use one or more of these titles, then it would be extremely hypocritical not to follow the associated precedents and protocols. After all, this was the consideration for the title in the first place. If Meghan Markle wants to be called the Duchess of Sussex, then she needs to understand that she needs to start curtsying to those above her in the hierarchy, which is how it works right now. Meghan could also refuse to use the title. She has every right to do so. As an American citizen, her refusal to curtsy was justified, and we could have respected that. But it seems the Duchess of Sussex wants the association title and all the bells and whistles that come with it, but she doesn't want the job and doesn't respect centimeter. I always thought it was the final straw for Meghan Markle when she realized she would one day have to curtsy to Catherine. I suspect this decision was made when she left St. Paul's after her anniversary ceremony. As she approached a more open space, she could hear the roar of the crowd with her usual silly smile on her face, and then there was a very sweet moment when Meghan suddenly realized that the sounds she was hearing were not cheers. Overall, though, people were booing. God, she looked shocked. It took a little more than just a moment, and then in quite a panic, she changed her expression to one of trying to avoid throwing up, and she kept on walking. It was a sight to behold when somebody no longer talks to their family, when somebody doesn't have any friends they have known longer than a couple of months or so, when somebody has been through all these breakups and all these short relationships, when somebody had JBS, I mean people they've done business with, and everybody is canceling the work they did with them and saying bad things about their experience, when it seems like somebody just can't stay at the same job for more than a few years. Well, perhaps that person is the problem and not everybody they're encountering. And in this situation, it's pretty clear who the problem is. And it's not the royal family. Therefore, Meghan believes it is undignified to be polite to any member of the royal family. Even if the Queen is still alive, she should be first in the hierarchy. If the President of the United States and leaders of other countries must bow to kings and queens as a sign of respect, it's not because they view themselves as inferior. But Meghan is unwilling to adhere to even the simplest etiquette of royal life. So why did she marry Harry? I will never understand it now. Yes, it is an extremely privileged lifestyle, but nevertheless, it has its own rules and features. You can't just dance around the world. Is that really a job? Meghan also didn't understand what the Dutch titles were about. He thought it would open many doors for him. She thought it would impress people. She thinks it will bring her a lot of money and wants everyone to call her the Duchess. Meghan has no qualms about winning this title, and look where it has taken her. But I have to give credit where credit is due. Meghan behaved well and only worked in the royal family for 72 days. What I'm saying is, think about it. She organized a £1 million celebrity wedding. She bought more than $1 million worth of clothes, but her biggest gain was the title, which she always used to attract attention. Now, actually that's not bad for only working 72 days, but she still whines. I kind of suspect that Harry is finally realizing that Meghan Markle has been using him this whole time and she doesn't care about him. She is so obsessed, and after they get divorced, Harry might have to stay on in the US if he wants to keep up this narrative that they've got these children now. I don't believe the children are real, but it's going to be a pretty awkward situation to face if he has to admit they're not real in order to just get away from Meghan and leave the US. I don't know. We're going to see what happens now if the kids are real, which I don't believe they are, but if they are, Meghan Markle is going to be so vindictive. She is not going to allow them out of her sight. However, apart from a few friends or fans, Harry and Meghan are not important to anyone. The only reason people care about them is because people want to see how high they rise and how far they fall. However, as the years go by, Harry and Meghan will certainly become less important on the world stage. If there are real children, the children will never know Harry's family, and I'm afraid Harry will never really have a relationship with his nieces and nephews. After he said, "The king and the prince continue, they work for the wise," Harry won't be allowed to take part in any of this, but it's his choice and I'm sure one day he'll regret everything he and Meghan did. So one day Harry will come back with his tail between his legs when he finally realizes that he's been playing the game the whole time, and I think people would be more willing to forgive if Harry could have his mind back when he can finally was able to let go of the woman who was so terribly brainwashed that she always felt insulted by everything and became a different person. And you? What do you think of this couple? Please let me know your thoughts in the general section below, and then we can talk about Meghan and Harry too. If you think my video is helpful, don't be afraid. I can always share it with your friends and family members who need it. Please click the subscribe button to support us more and more. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great weekend and we'll see you all tonight.